What's good, YouTube? It's Vex, and we back with another Reacts. Today we got the heartbreaking life of Eminem. Now, we have been checking out some Eminem songs on the channel. You could feel free to go down to the comment section and let me know any good Eminem videos. If they happen to have any videos like this, let me know. But today is going to be like a documentary style video. We got the heartbreaking life of Eminem. Let's get straight into it.
And tell him we shouldn't be, but he just wouldn't leave. He kept talking me and I couldn't breathe.
Many think that these lines from the song Brain Damage from the album Slim Shady are some kind of a joke. However, that's not true. In these lines,
I never thought that.
recalls how he was bullied in school.
Beat up in the bathroom, beat up in the hallways, shoved in the lockers.
And he will never in his entire life forget that specific incident on the toilet. When he was only 9 years old, older classmate D'Angelo Bailey beat him up so hard that Marshall thought he wouldn't make it out alive. He was small, plus he had a big mouth, recalls Bailey. Marshall got a brain hemorrhage. Blood oozed right out of his ears.
I'm not gonna lie, he looked like he was an asshole kid. I'm just being honest. I'm just keeping it full beam, bro. Let's be honest. These kids who look like this, they always be bothering people. But that don't mean he should get what he like. He said he had a big mouth. I could see him having a big mouth, but that don't mean you do this. This is crazy. He wasn't gonna make it.
Marshall got a brain hemorrhage. Blood oozed right out of his ears.
That's
he
crazy.
Didn't slip into a coma, but he periodically lost and regained consciousness for a few days before his fainting spells disappeared. He got so many health problems: bruising, multiple wounds, lacerations, nausea, and so on.
My main concern was to get him, medical treatment, and because he was, when I found my son, he was on the floor and he was having a seizure.
His mom, Debbie Mathers, also had a tough life in which terrible things occurred.
I was sexually assaulted by my one stepdad when I was 12.
Jesus.
He didn't get the job complete because he was arrested.
According to her own words, there were always strange men in the house, and they were always getting drunk. Debbie was abused as a child, and the saddest thing is that her mom was also abused. Eminem's grandma is called Batty, who was delighted by the news that her mom is dying.
The way you beat and abused a little child, an innocent child.
Bro, and people don't realize that this trauma that you give, it goes down through like the generations. You don't understand that? Because that's deep within your DNA, bro. When you get like trauma this deep, bro, somebody abused you, and then the way you move as a person after getting treated like that.
Said, you're going to hell, don't you?
Debbie wanted her own family, and she wanted to be a good mother for her children.
Yeah.
She gave birth to Marshall when she was 18 years old, and she thought that her family's life would be good. However, the reality was far from it. When Em's dad had to take over his dad's position
he
at a
looked like a
hotel,
menace.
He started hanging out with other women. Naturally, Debbie didn't like it. And one day, he told her that she had to get her child and get out of the house. Debbie left Bruce because of his constant beatings and his alcoholism. The dad left to California, and after that, nobody saw or ever heard from him again.
You were dead to me before you died. Me, tear no shed. Should I have made a mirror at your funeral?
In his book, he spoke out about his dad in the following paragraph. And I quote, "I won't lie. I will always have questions about my dad. But I understood that I will never get answers. So he can go to hell. He can piss off. I don't want to know this guy."
That's valid.
How much of a jerk do you have to be to abandon your own child?
Nah, facts. That's like the lowest tier of manlyhood you could possibly get to.
Or to speak to other family members in the way he talked to his uncle, and not even call his own child, who never wronged him. There is no excuse for a parent to do what he has done. I don't give a shit if they're lost in Alaska or somewhere in the goddamn desert. I would find my daughters.
I feel that.
His dad never wanted anything to do with him. Marshall tried to contact him. Debbie tried to contact him.
That's messed up.
Eminem
You a weirdo.
was exposed to weapons and violence from an early age. Of course, he wasn't a gang member, nor was he a killer. Todd Nelson, whom you've just seen, used to give Eminem, who was 7 years old at the time, a .45 Colt to shoot beer cans. This very Colt was used by Todd to kill a guy in a supermarket parking lot. He was found guilty in the murder of a guy who allegedly molested children. In 2004, and on his birthday, he shot himself, which shocked Marshall. According to M's word, he was a well-intentioned guy who just couldn't function in society. He had one more uncle called Ronald Nelson, even though he was 3 years younger than Marshall. He was always up to some crazy stuff. When he was 7, he burned down Eminem's grandma's house.
What?
At 11, he put a hamster in a microwave, and it...
Bro, this family is wild, bro. What the hell? See, this is like... And the crazy thing is, you'll see somebody act a certain way, and you never know the environment that they're in. Because the environment really make a difference on how you turn out, bro. So anybody out there who has any type of degree of control over your environment, you have to put yourself in a position for success in order to achieve success, bro. This is crazy, bro. Some people don't have that choice, and you got to understand that as a person who is in a blessed position, that a lot of people do not have the choice. Be proud of the things that the Lord give you.
He burned down Eminem's grandma's house. At 11, he put a hamster in a microwave, and it exploded in there. Apparently, he learned these from Eminem, who also did a similar thing. According to Debbie, in her book, one day I came home to discover his guinea pig wrapped in plastic wrap in the microwave.
Oh,
He's
my
cold.
gosh.
I'm warming him up, Marshall said.
Jesus.
As I switched the oven off, the guinea pig wasn't cold, he was dead. Marshall was distraught as I explained his pet had gone to heaven. He insisted we bury him properly in a shoebox with little holes cut into it so the guinea pig could breathe on his way to the afterlife.
Bro, kids be so innocent and so, what's the word? Logic based. Like, his logic was so based on pure basics that he thought because he was cold, he should warm him up in the oven because the oven warmed things up. Bro, this is tough.
Marshall didn't always understand just how delicate some creatures were.
It all started when my mother took my bike away because I murdered my guinea pig and stuck him in the microwave.
In 1992, Eminem went through one of his roughest patches ever. It was all because, at the end of 91, Ronnie shot himself in the head after a breakup with his girlfriend. This upset Marshall so much that he couldn't even go to the funeral. It didn't sit right with him to look at his uncle lying there without a head.
I read about your Uncle Ronnie too, I'm sorry. I had a friend kill himself over some who didn't want him.
Dang, I didn't peep that part. Now I know that Ronnie was, okay.
A huge favor. He introduced him to hip-hop. He brought him the soundtrack for the movie Breaking, which included Ice-T's song Reckless. He then started digging deeper in the topic, and when he was 14 years old, he understood that he wanted to become a rapper. And that same year, he had Proof in middle school.
I first met Proof with Goofy Gary on the steps at Osborne, handing out some flyers.
Eminem was taken aback by Proof's kindness toward him. One day, Proof made Marshall get rid of his secondhand moccasins that his mom got him. They had the same shoe size. One day, Proof said, "What the hell do you have on your feet?" He gave him a few pairs of nearly brand new Nikes.
Nice.
This was one of those moments where Eminem wanted to cry from happiness.
That's
Proof told
beautiful.
him to stand his grounds and be a man.
Ew!
He was the first person to show him how to fight. When they would get home exhausted with bloodied fists, they would have an exercise where one of them would say a word, and they would see how many words they could rhyme with it. By the age of 18, he was unsure whether he wanted to become a rapper or not. He thought it would be better to become a basketball player than a rapper.
Uh-oh.
He played basketball fairly well. But what about rap? He recorded a few cassettes. However, they weren't selling well because a lot of people couldn't understand how a white guy could become a rap star.
Dang, that's tough. What the hell is he saying? That's why.
A rap star. At around the same time, Proof quit his job and decided to dedicate his life to hip-hop. He started hanging out with hip-hop artists, and everybody thought that Proof would be the first to sign a contract for a solo. However, at the age of 20, something happened that could have gotten these two locked behind bars.
What?
The whole thing is that sometimes they would shoot at random people in Detroit with paintball guns.
Oh.
One day, they stopped by Wayne State University and went up to the kids who were skating on their skateboards. Proof sneaked up behind one of them and shot him 3 times in the back of his head at point-blank range.
No, bro.
Can you imagine how painful that is?
Bro, facts.
Next up came the police sirens. One of the cops beat the crap out of him. One cop
Dang.
pinned Eminem on the lawn while the second pinched his earring and said, "You like wearing earrings, don't you, you little faggot?" While Proof was forced to...
Bro, can they say this in 2024? Because I know back in the day, the cops used to be ruthless, bro. I feel like the people have had so much more power that they kind of low-key made the cops have to like back off a little bit, but they still be doing they Diddy, bro. The cops just, I don't know how to feel about the cops. Sometimes they like good, sometimes they like, it's just so ridiculous.
To eat grass, literally. The cop
How y'all feel
grabbed
about
a
the
handful
cops?
of grass and shoved it in his mouth. Then a female cop said they got video cameras. After that, they decided to get them in the car. They didn't want them to be photographed because of the way they looked. After this incident, the
What the
guys
hell?
got rib injuries. As a result, they were sent to 2 Detroit prisons. And while they were there, they found out that one of them also shot someone in the male genitalia.
No.
The guy wanted to sue them, and they would have been sentenced for a minimum of 5 years. And of course, they didn't have money for a lawyer. And Eminem said, screw that, here goes our rap career. However, because one of the victims didn't show up in court, Eminem and Proof got away with it.
Dang.
Everything changed when the hip-hop shop opened up. There, and for the first time, Eminem was able to express himself and show that he could rap. People jumped and screamed, and the bosses asked Proof where he found this white guy at. After being humiliated from his early years, he received the love that he had dreamt about.
That probably felt good. Okay. It's better with the captions.
He won the annual battle at the hip-hop shop, and then, in '97, he participated in the Scribble Jam in Ohio, where he got to the finals and lost.
Dang.
He returned home completely depressed.
What?
But this wasn't the end of the full struggle. He lived with 2 roommates in one room. One of the guys told him that he has cheaper rent and that they should move in with him. He told his friend, all right, he has cheaper rent. Screw it. Let's move in with him. As Eminem says, we were paying out rent to him, but the SOB was keeping our rent and wasn't paying the landlord. He took the rent, saved up his own money, and bounced on us.
That's
So
messed
one day,
up,
we
bro. Bro, this is real grimy. I ain't gonna lie. What?
come home and all our shit's out on the fucking front lawn. This period of time in his life was incredibly shitty, especially that he was hoping for a contract with Jive Records because he knew a guy there.
And this is something I want y'all to take out of this. He was still in there hustling. Look at this. Look at this room. He was still figuring a way out, bro. And you got to have this type of hustle tenacity, especially we live in a time, I know the economy not the best, but we live in a time where, like, we got so much technology, y'all. But if you're willing to, like, put in the effort, go a couple of nights not sleeping and studying and being as productive as you can and really, like, feeling like you are chasing, like really intensely chasing after that dream and doing something that nobody else doing. And you know, once you put it together like that and you on that mission, it gotta be exceptional if you want it to happen. You have to be exceptional. You have to go hard, bro. And once you start doing that, bro, I promise you, it's gonna change you, bro. It's gonna change you and it's gonna make a difference. Because a lot of people are so depressed that they not trying to be exceptional. They trying to make excuses for themselves. They feeling depressed, this, that. You gotta let all of that go and go all in because you want it that bad.
But it turned
Somebody
out
go feel me.
he just worked there at the mail reception department. All of that led to one night when he tried drugs for the first time while recording the song Rock Bottom. All he could think about at the time was to finish the song, and that would be the last song he would ever record.
Full of empty promises and broken dreams. I'm hoping things look up, but there ain't no job openings. I feel discouraged, hungry and malnourished. Living in this house with no furnace, unfurnished.
He went to Los Angeles, and lost in the finals of the Rap Olympics tournament. For the final, they were giving away Rolex watches, which he wasn't sure were real, but the $500 was real. That was a lot of money for him at that time. He went back home with the thought, what's next?
Yeah.
After all, he was returning home to nothing. The end of the year 1997 was terrible for Marshall. He had $40 in his pocket. He was fired from his job, and Haley's birthday was coming up soon.
Dang.
And he didn't have money for a gift.
I'll never forget that Christmas. I sat up the whole night crying cause daddy felt like a bomb.
On that trip to Los Angeles, he gave his cassette to an assistant at Interscope Records, which is where Dre found Eminem. And the song My Name Is was released.
Hi, my name is...
My name is Chicka Slim Shady.
And legal
That's fire,
proceedings
bro.
against Eminem had begun. In this song, there were some lines mentioning his mother.
How you gonna breastfeed me, mom? You ain't got no tits.
Debbie was deeply affected by these words. In her book, she said, this line was horrible and upsetting because I'd contracted toxemia blood poisoning when I gave birth to him and hadn't been able to breastfeed. Eminem also accused her of using
Oh,
drugs.
dang, that's messed up.
I just found out my mom does more dope than I do.
The mom sued her own son for $10 million.
What?
Yeah,
What the? Nah, that's crazy, bro. That's I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. That's messed up.
Mom does more dope than I do.
the mom sued her own son for $10 million, yet only received a $25,000 settlement. But $23,354.25 of that went to her lawyer.
Get ready,
Dang.
this is about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits. You damn it.
A couple of years later, Eminem released the heartbreaking song "Cleaning Out My Closet."
I just
in
reacted
which
to that.
Eminem recalls the situation when Debbie said that she wishes Eminem would be dead instead of his Uncle Ronald.
Remember when Ronnie died and you said you wished it was me? Well, guess what? I am dead. Dead to you as can be.
Sometime
Dang.
after the funeral, Debbie called him, and they began arguing about something unrelated to Ron. During the argument, Debbie said that she wished Eminem had died instead of Ron, which she confirmed in her book, and I quote, "I couldn't believe what was happening. I hate to say this, but I'm sick of you," I screamed. "I wish this was you instead of Ronnie." That comment came out of
Dang.
nowhere. I didn't mean it, but I was just so rattled.
No, you meant it. You meant it. She's capping. Anytime you can't, like, you don't say stuff like in the heat of the moment that you don't mean, bro. Sometimes you do, but deep down, you feel it, bro. And that's the truth about people, if you don't know. Whenever people in the heat of the moment and they say reckless stuff, because you would never tell your mama, "I want you to die." Like, even if you was really, really mad, you would never tell your mama, "I want you to die." If you got a good relationship with your mama, you would never tell. You know why you wouldn't do that? Because if you have a good relationship with your mama, that would never cross your mind. But if you do feel that way, it's going to pop up. Like, you can't suppress that subconscious. And the subconscious comes from truth. And it's a reason behind that. You might not want to dive into that and speak on it, but nah, that's messed up.
I phoned Marshall straight back. "Son, I am so sorry. I didn't mean it."
You felt guilty and
Hang up
bad
on
after.
I've apologized to Marshall so many times for saying I wished he were dead instead of Ronnie.
You said
Of course I
it.
didn't mean it. I'm so sorry I said that. It's something I will regret to my dying day. The Marshall Mathers album contains a song under the name Kim.
Kim?
In the song, Eminem talks about a traumatic relationship. The song was written back in the year of 1998.
You were supposed to love me. Now bleed, bitch, bleed.
What?
However, the most intense song in Eminem's career is the song 97 Bonnie and Clyde. In the song, Slim Shady asks his daughter to help him get rid of her mom's body and throw it in
What?
the ocean. And the most interesting thing about it is that the song includes vocals by Haley, which seriously angered Kim.
Mama's messy, ain't she? We'll let it wash off in the water and me and you can play by ourselves, can't we?
As M's
Nah,
former
that's crazy.
bodyguard, Big Nas says Kim is Debbie reincarnated. In turn, Debbie says that
Interesting.
Eminem often got psychologically abused by Kim. She saw how, one day, Kim took off her shoes and hit Eminem with it, while Marshall stood there and did nothing about it. If they didn't fight for even one day, this would be considered something abnormal by those around them.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. If you in this situation, dang, bro. He got a kid with her, though. It's a different situation. That's messed up, bro. I wonder if she was showing signs of this before, they had kids. That's why you really got to pay attention to who you sleep with.
Generally speaking, it was a serious toxic relationship. Despite their relationship being a total mess, they got married in 1999. However, that didn't make things better. For Kim, the marriage was to tie Eminem to her. Because
Dang.
women began noticing Eminem
And girls will do that, too. That's what's messed up, bro. Especially in today's time. Girls will do that. The prenup don't really matter. How y'all feel about marriage and stuff, bro? Like, I feel like for men, it's real rough, bro. Like, you get the tail end of the bargain. And nobody could convince me otherwise.
In her opinion, he started developing an ego. In the year of 2000, Kim saw how Eminem made fun of her using a doll pretending that it's her. and she saw the positive reaction he received from the public.
I made it home and I could not gather my senses. And I went upstairs in my bathroom and I slit my wrist. In the hospital.
She, like Debbie, sued him for $10 million.
Oh my
However,
gosh.
nothing came up. And who else sued Eminem? The very D'Angelo Bailey who beat Marshall up in the toilet. He wanted to sue him for $1 million, but he was also unsuccessful. The
Why?
judge, who penned a section of her judgment in rap-like rhyming language, determined that the lyrics were clearly overstated to the public.
Yo, facts.
Stories that no one can take as fact. They're an exaggeration of a childish act. Any reasonable person can see that the lyric could only be hyperbole. It is therefore this close ultimate position that Eminem is entitled to summary disposition.
The main tragedy occurred in 2006.
What happened?
Eminem had never before felt such intense pain before. And this pain still accompanies him to this very day.
What?
The pain that became part of Marshall. On April 11, 2006,
No.
Proof was shot 3 times by Mario Etheridge.
No,
once in the head
bro.
And twice in the chest after a dispute broke out during a game of billiards, the CCC Club on 8 Mile Road in Detroit. A pool game between Proof and Keith Bender turned into a heated argument and then escalated into a physical altercation.
Bro, we gotta have better control over our emotions, bro. And it's very, very, very important, bro. Better control over our emotions and thoughts. We have to be conscious. We can't be living on autopilot. Anybody out there who's conscious, I need you to understand this point that I'm trying to make to you. You have to be conscious with your decisions because it literally writes the pages in your book, bro. This is crazy, bro. You cannot get heated over a pool game and let it escalate to that point, bro. You got to be the bigger person. Get yourself out of that situation because it's not worth your life. Life is literally the most precious thing we have, bro.
CC Club on 8 Mile Road in Detroit.
And that was probably his best
between
friend.
Proof and Keith Bender turned into a heated argument and then escalated into a physical altercation.
That man changed his
Eminem
life.
recounted in his book, The Way I Am, how precious Proof was for him. Proof was my key to everything. It was the only reason as to why they stopped beating me up. I
Damn.
won't sugarcoat anything. He was my pass to the ghetto. He stood up for me as if we were brothers.
Facts.
I lived in an attic, but if it weren't for Proof who got me into the rap game, I don't know where I would have been.
Facts.
You definitely would have never heard of me. He was not only able to bring out the talent in me, he also saw the diamond in the rough.
Facts.
This doesn't mean that Proof had no talents. Proof commanded the entire rap music scene in Motor City in the mid-90s. People loved it. I lost my best friend, but I guarantee you that 1 million people would say, yeah, Proof was my best friend as well. But Proof and I had a mutual understanding. That's why I say he was my best friend. I was his best friend.
You telling me this guy's white? This dude's white. Two.
No, sunburn.
Sunburn.
I'm red.
He's red.
Bro, this beautiful. I ain't gonna lie.
Because of the death of a close friend of his, Marshall's problems with drug addiction worsened.
Damn,
But
bro.
luckily, he was able to overcome addiction and lead a sober life. He
love
reconciled
that,
with
man.
his mom and apologized for everything that he has said about her.
But I'm sorry, mama, for cleaning out my closet at the time. I was angry, rightfully, maybe so. Never meant that for it.
In turn, when Eminem was inducted,
Bro, that's cool that you could see like the especially for all your Eminem fans. I'm sure you could see it firsthand, but you know, I'm just now getting into it. It's cool that you can see his development over time. Not only from like, you know, talking about all of his struggles, but also coming to terms with his struggles and forgiving the people and understanding that, you know, time not unlimited. Why not try and, you know, be better and do my best? And if it don't work, you know, I might have to leave those types of things alone. But bro, this is fire.
inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Debbie Mathers barely held back her tears of pride as she congratulated her son on his achievement.
Marshall, I could not let this day go by without congratulating you on your induction to the Hall of Fame. I love you very much. I knew you would get there, and it's been a long ride.
He reconciled with Kim in 2006, but they later separated, and they now maintain a friendly relationship with one another.
That's
She
fire.
currently looks like this. In 2022, her mother died, which
Aw.
led Kim to want to end her life by taking pills.
No.
However, thankfully, the doctors managed to save her.
You got
In
so
a
much to
recent
live
interview,
for.
She said that now she is clean and feels good after a 45-day stay at a rehab center. She also maintains a good connection with her children and with Eminem as well.
That's
to
fire.
the question of how often they see each other, she responded saying, "Not often, but enough." Upon listening to the album,
Good dad, but a
Slim
bad
Shady,
husband.
you would think, what a repulsive maniac. But after the Marshall Mathers album, you understand that the origins of Slim Shady are in Marshall Mathers' abandoned, rejected, and love-deprived heart that's carrying a huge burden. The abandoned child, whom, in the end, became Slim Shady.
Eminem is the rapper, Slim Shady will kill you, and Marshall Mathers is the person like behind the whole, mask.
The next video that I recommend you watch is about an incredible friendship between Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.
Should we check that video out of the friendship between Eminem and Dr. Dre? This was a good video, I'm not gonna lie. An amazing video, to keep it honest. This gave me so much more background on M, and I really enjoyed it. What other videos should I react to? Let me know down in the comment section below. It could be music, it could be like a documentary style videos. Whatever it is, let's try and get to it. Without further ado, I'm out. Peace and love always. Hope you have an amazing day.